welcome back to another reading vlog. So today is Monday. It is later on in the evening. I just got home from work a little while ago, and if you have seen my November TBR, then you know I have given myself quite an ambitious TBR for November, and I am adding on to that by listening to a book that was not on my TBR, even though I have enough to read and listen to in November. So I should be listening to Crooked Kingdom, because that audiobook is like 18 hours long, and it is our Muggle Studies book club pick for November. But instead, I am listening to On Dublin Street by Samantha Young. So this is the same author that wrote Fight or Flight, which I really enjoyed, and I saw this on my public library, so I checked it out. It is not that great, to be honest. Like, so far, it is just... the plot is so simple, and I feel like there is really no plot, and everything is just around the romance. And I get it, I know it's like a romance book, I totally understand. But at least with Fight or Flight, I felt like there was a little bit more to the romance, a little bit of plot, a little bit of substance, but this one doesn't have that much substance. I mean, I like the writing style, and I mean, it's set in Scotland, so the Scottish accents are, you know, on point, very hot, but I'm now on chapter 4, and it's telling me that I have about 9.5 hours left. I think I'm gonna just fly through this book. It's quite funny, I'm not gonna lie. I am enjoying the love interest. You know, it's the typical broody, rugged male that plays hard to get, and it's a hate to love relationship. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious how the book is going to end, but I mean, it's fun to listen to. I will say I'm not enjoying the side characters, and then also I kind of am annoyed with the main character. I'm really enjoying the main character's roommate. She's actually quite spunky and sassy, and I really enjoy her. But yeah, I'm not connecting to the main character as I did with Samantha Young's other book. But I liked her writing style in the other book, so I'm really hoping that, you know, I will enjoy this one. That is it for this update, and I will update you guys later. Hey guys, so this update is kind of going to be a little bit of a venting update. So I am still currently listening to On Dublin Street. I don't like it. Like, the characters are annoying, and it's not necessarily the characters' annoyance that's bothering me, it's the toxic relationship between the main character and the love interest. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, I love a good love to hate relationship. I like when couples bicker and they argue and they're sass and then they have a relationship. I just love that sarcasm and that back and forth. It makes for great dialogue, it makes for entertaining reading, and I love that when it comes to my adult romance. But this one is just, there is that back and forth, but it is very toxic. The main love interest is extremely controlling, to the point where if I am not enjoying an adult romance, then I feel like there is an issue, because I am trash for adult romance, and I love the brooding male character trope. And this one is just, it's too much. So the main love interest is kind of a man whore, and the main character is living with his sister. That's how they kind of meet. And the sister slash roommate basically says, my brother likes you, and there's a chance he wants to use you, but please don't hurt him. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what? Like, that conversation in itself really, really bothered me. I liked her at the beginning and now I'm not so sure, especially after that conversation. She's essentially telling her roommate that her brother wants to use her for sex, but she doesn't want the main character to hurt his feelings. And I'm just like, I was baffled by that conversation. And then the main love interest, his name is Brayden. He's very, very controlling, a little bit too aggressive, to the point where I wouldn't necessarily say it's non-consensual, but there are a lot of times where the main character is like, no, don't, stay away from me, I'm not interested, I don't want to pursue a relationship, but he pushes and pushes and pushes and is a little too aggressive. And I really don't like that. And then some of the romance scenes, I wouldn't consider classy. Like, sometimes it's hard to make romance classy. But like, for example, Sarah J. Maas, she has some pretty intense smut scenes and love scenes in Akamath, but I think they're done in kind of a classy way. But with this one, even I was cringing at some of the scenes, and I wouldn't consider myself prude because, like I said, I read a lot of adult romance. But this one, I don't know. Some of the things they said, I was just cringing. And I was like, oh, that is so gross. I was even Snapchatting Hannah back and forth and basically telling, like, sending her quotes of the book because she was thinking of maybe listening to it as well. Since we share a public library, she was going to possibly listen to it. And she was even saying the same thing. She was like, that's so gross. Like, some of these things that are said between the two of them, how aggressive the guy is being. It's very vulgar. Once again, I don't really like it. So that's kind of my thoughts right now on this book. I am more than halfway through. I have about 4 hours left of the audiobook. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, to be honest. And also, we're in first person with the main character, and she is so freaking annoying. Like, I understand the stress that she's going through. I can sympathize with her. Something traumatic happened when she was younger, and now she's going through PTSD and she's having these horrible panic attacks. I like that we're getting to see that in the story, but she's just so back and forth, and it's kind of confusing. It's sending mixed messages to the love interest and friends, and I don't know, I feel like when it comes to situations like that, playing games is how people get hurt, and sending him mixed messages makes him more aggressively wanting to pursue a relationship. So I don't know. I don't think I've ever DNF'd an adult romance before. Like, even if I don't really enjoy it, I finish them typically. This may have to be the first adult romance that I'm going to DNF, just because I just can't handle the aggressiveness and the toxicness of the relationship. I can't do it. So I feel like I'm talking myself into DNFing this book. Like, this has to be one of the worst adult romance books that I have read, and that's saying a lot. But let's just kind of move on to something a little bit more happy. I do have an unboxing. This book is not for me. This is actually for Hannah. And Hannah, it's okay if you want to watch this. You're welcome to click away from this clip, but it is the book that you already know I'm getting you. So this is the book Sea Swept by Nora Roberts, and I'm very excited to reread this. As you know, this is one of my favorite books of all times, and Hannah and I decided that for Christmas we are going to read our favorite books, annotate in it, and then send it to the other person. So I have my own copy of Sea Swept, but it is a mass market paperback, and so I wanted to get Hannah her own nicer copy. This one has deckled edges. It got bent in the mail. I'm really sorry, Hannah, it got a little bent, but I much prefer this version versus this edition. So this will be nice to go through and read and annotate. I feel like I need a good adult romance after the trash that I am reading. That is it for this update, and I will update you guys later. So, I am still listening to On Dublin Street, and I am so frustrated. I think I'm more frustrated today than I was yesterday. By the way, it's the next day, and apparently I decided to just continue listening to this audiobook. I think it's because I'm so entranced with the Scottish accent that I want to keep listening, but I just, there are so many problems with this book and the relationship. So, okay, not spoilers, but I do need to talk about a scene, and I wouldn't consider it spoilers. You know, I'm not talking about like the ending or like, you know, what's going on and stuff. But there is a scene where the main love interest wants to take our main character on a date or a business dinner. And so she gets all dressed up, she goes out, she buys a new dress because he's like a successful businessman and she wants to look nice, and so she goes out, she buys a new dress, new shoes, clutch, everything, and she, you know, spends some time doing her makeup because she doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and doing her hair. And he comes to pick her up and he tells her that she looks really, really pretty, but then he takes her into her room and he tells her to put her hair up. And she's like, you know, asking why. And he's being serious, like, serious. And basically, he tells her that she looks too good with her hair down, and he doesn't want anybody to look at her and see her hair down. So he demands for her to put her hair up. And then she even makes a comment about she doesn't do well with demands. You know, he's not asking, he's basically forcing, and he kind of just like shrugs it off with that and just says, you don't have a choice, like you need to put your hair up. And so she kind of just laughs it off and is like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll put it up, but you owe me a favor in return. Like, it's just, like, that's insane to me. I have no words, obviously, as you can tell. I have absolutely no words. Like, you spend all this time trying to look nice, and you look nice for yourself, and also you're gonna be around people. So you spend all this time getting ready, trying to look nice, and then someone tells you that you look nice, but you look too nice for other people, and he wants to be the only man that sees her hair down. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, I honestly am baffled and I have no words, and I am just, this guy is an asshole and he's fucking ridiculous. And then I just remembered there was a scene, this is at the beginning of the book, when they're still talking and they're not in a relationship yet, and like you can tell there's kind of a spark between them, but he has a girlfriend. Just keep that in mind. He has a girlfriend, which we don't like. We don't like the girlfriend. She's a gold digger, she's rude, she's mean, she's selfish, she's self-absorbed. Like, we don't like her, but he still has a girlfriend. And she is single. And she kisses a guy, and he sees, the love interest sees her do that. And then he basically like forces her to follow him into like a closet. And he basically tells her he doesn't like to share and forcibly kisses her. And I'm just like, I just remembered that scene. I was listening to it and I had no words. Like, he has a girlfriend, she is single, they are not dating, she can do whatever the hell she wants, and he basically tells her he doesn't like to share. I was just like, what the fuck? I don't understand stand this relationship. It's like, it's over the top. It's not a healthy hate to love relationship at all. And we're in first person, so we know that the main character wants to be with him. Like, we know that she's attracted to him and that she feels something for him, but verbally she says no, and she verbally constantly tells him she's not looking for anything, she doesn't want to be in a relationship, she's not interested, she doesn't want him to pursue her, but he still kind of forces himself into her life. And I'm just like, no, 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 and no. It is so aggressive and unhealthy and not okay. And then this whole, you need to put your hair up. And like, that's how he says it. You need to put your hair up. I do not want anyone to see you with your hair down. I want to be the only one to know what you look like with your hair down. And I'm just like, oh my God, what? Who does this guy think he is? This is ridiculous. At this point, I think I'm just gonna continue finishing the book just so that I can just see where it goes, because I have a feeling like I know where it's gonna end. I mean, this is a romance story, so I'm assuming they're gonna end up together. And I want to see all of the other ridiculous shit that happens, because I am not okay with 99% of what is going on in this relationship. Oh, it is just, I can't. It's, God, he's such an asshole, and just not, and her too. She's very annoying, and she's definitely giving him mixed signals, and I can see why he is somewhat being a little more aggressive with trying to break her out of her shell. So I get it, like, he kind of tricks her into going on a date with him, which, I mean, I'm not okay with, but I can, you know, she kind of needs that push. She's very reserved, and she doesn't want to let anybody in, and she is just very good about pushing people away and trying not to care about others. So I can see why she kind of needs a little bit of a push to just open up emotionally. Anyways, that is it for my update right now. I think I am just gonna continue listening to this book. I only have like 2 hours left. Maybe just finish it tonight and be done with it, and then move on to Sea Swept. I need to read, because I do want something more of a okay, decent relationship, even though this is a great, great hate to love relationship. Hannah, you're gonna love it. Or you better love it. If you don't, just lie to me. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna finish listening to On Dublin Street. I'm sure I'm gonna come back with more rant. This is probably just gonna be a ranting vlog of the worst adult romance book I've ever read. And I will update you guys later. Hey guys, so it is the following day, and I think this is gonna be the last day I film for this reading vlog. So yesterday, after my update, I was kind of on the fence of whether or not I wanted to finish On Dublin Street. I am just so enraged with this book, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna DNF it or finish it, because I only had like 2 hours left. So I decided to just keep on listening to it, and now I only have about 30 minutes left of the audiobook, and I don't even know what to say. So part of me is still really, really pissed off with this book, and another part of me is kind of starting to understand where the relationship is going and kind of the character growth. But basically, like, honestly, there is nothing good about this book except for maybe the last 30 minutes or so, like maybe the last 50 or so pages. There's absolutely, I can't stand by and be okay with this type of toxic relationship in this book. I don't like the way he treats her. I don't like the way she treats him. So now I'm about 3/4 of the way done. It's kind of more her treating him badly, and I really don't like that either. I don't like how she keeps playing games with him. She just, okay, so I'm gonna dive into spoilers a little bit. I'm not gonna discuss like specific events, but just kind of just discuss a little bit of spoilers. So basically she feels like he deserves better than her, so she breaks up with him and he gets really, really hurt by it, so he kind of tries to hurt her back in return, and then she gets really pissed off that he is talking to another woman and that he is even considering moving on. There's a point in time where she says, I knew he didn't love me because if he did, he wouldn't be talking to somebody else. But she broke up with him and he told her he wanted to be with her and that he loved her, and she just freaked out and said no. She lied to him, she said she didn't love him back, and then she broke up with him. Honestly, she has no right to be angry with him trying to move on after she hurt him. Like, I'm not standing up for her at all with that situation. Okay, so I'm done discussing spoiler type of events, but I still want to discuss just how also toxic their physical relationship is. He pretty much just manipulates her with sex, and I really don't like that. I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's okay. He tries to force her to do things that she doesn't want to do, as far as like what to wear, who to talk to, how to wear her hair up or down, and he uses like sex to manipulate her into doing these things when she should be allowed to dress the way she wants, wear makeup how she wants to, wear her hair how she wants to, talk to whoever she wants to. She should be allowed to go to work and converse with her coworkers without him being upset with her with talking to other guys. Like, it just, there are literally no words. Like, it makes me... Men and women can have platonic relationships, and you can't, like, she has to work, and she's gonna work with the opposite sex, and that is okay, and he is not okay with her doing that, and like I said, he just manipulates her, and it's not okay, and he's just, like I said, he's an asshole, and then she turns into just such a bitch at one point, and it's just not okay. I don't recommend reading it. I don't understand. I want to read reviews on this book because this book has so many reviews, and I think it has like a 4.2 star or something on Goodreads. Let me check. Yeah, so this book has over 160,000 ratings with over 8,800 reviews, and it is listed as a 4.2 star on Goodreads. Like, it has very, very high ratings, and I don't understand. People are rating it really high. I'm reading a review. Apparently someone didn't like this book. This person says Braden Carmichael is an alpha douche bitch. I love that. Annoying. Oh, I actually thought the same thing. I'm gonna read what this person said. I kind of mentioned it to Hannah, but the main love interest reminds me a lot of the stalking of Edward Cullen a little bit. It says, I hate this new alpha character we've been seeing in books ever since Edward Cullen made stalking sexy again in Twilight. It's adult romance, so it's even, you know, it's like take the stalking up a notch, and the over-possessiveness up a notch as well. Manipulative, I agree. This person's saying he's manipulative. Anyways, I'm gonna go just listen to the remaining 30 minutes of this book, and then I will do a quick update after that, and then close out this reading vlog. Okay, so I just finished on Dublin Street, and this is where I'm going to close out this reading vlog because I have a feeling it's going to be quite long of a reading vlog. So the ending had some redeeming qualities to it, I do have to say, but I don't think 30 minutes or, you know, maybe 50 pages of a book that is somewhat redeeming makes up for an entire 300 pages of just basically shit. So I think I'm gonna rate this a 2 out of 5 stars because although there were some good parts of the book, like good being loose, okay parts, most of it was just not acceptable in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 stars. And I think that is, I can't remember the last time I've actually rated a book a 2 out of 5 stars. I feel like it's been quite some time since I have rated a book that low. I usually give them a 3, but this one I can't. If you like adult romance, then I really don't recommend this book. I do recommend Fight or Flight by Samantha Young. I think that one is great. It has a great hate to love trope. It has really good characters. It still has kind of like that male brooding character trope, but it's not nearly as manipulative, aggressive as this one is, and I feel like the scenes are a lot sweeter. There is definitely passion, but it's just not as vulgar as this one. I did really love the relationship between the main character and Braden's family and Ellie's family. I thought that was really sweet. There is some really good sass in this book, don't get me wrong. There's really good sass, there's really good banter, especially between the main character and Braden. There are some parts that are pretty funny, but I don't know. Like, I still stand by everything else I said about the book. Honestly, like, I think the love interest is an asshole, and I think that the main character is annoying. I can't say that I recommend it, and honestly, this is probably one of the worst adult romance books that I have read, and I have read a lot. I have read a lot of adult romance, and this one, not okay. So yeah, that is it for this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed this rant. I'm sorry that there isn't more substance or content to this video, but this book definitely brought out a lot of emotions in me, to say the least. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!